Good morning, my name is Jacob Folger. I'm an artist sculptor, and today I'm going to show you how to make a fairy tree house and garden. We're starting out by rolling a noodle of clay, and then we're going to form it into a little circle. This will be the surround for the garden portion of the sculpture. You can blend it in with your fingers, um, and then we'll take some small bits of clay and put them in the bottom and blend that in with your fingers as well. There we go. Trying to make it uniform as well. Now we're going to make a ball of clay for the mound for the tree to sit on. We're going to flatten it a little bit on the bottom and put it onto the wall, keeping everything symmetrical, and then we'll blend it in there to the wall. There we go. Looking good. Next we're going to start working on the tree, and I'm looking for kind of a old looking tree. I don't want it to be too tall. It's forming it there. I'm going to take a regular pair of scissors and I'm going to snip the bottom to create the shapes for the roots. I'm going to spread them out. And put them on the mound, put the tree on the mound, and just sort of blend it in a little bit. We're also trying to shape the tree to give it some form so it's not just jacked up straight up and down. I'm just bending it a little bit. See how it looks a little bit more relaxed. And now I'm snipping the branches to we're going to have a little support for the foliage. We're going to sculpt it a little bit. Here I'm taking a little bit of clay and putting it at the top just to support the branches a little bit better, blending it in. Next I'm going to take a paintbrush and start putting an indentation into the clay for the doorway. You can also use a ball tool. These ball tools are very common among polymer clay sculptors. You can use the back of a paintbrush to create a little window just by poking into the clay there. This is just a sculpting tool, and you can use sculpting tools, ball tools, just about anything really to blend things in and carve them and that sort of thing, just to make everything work better. Next we're going to roll a series of balls all about the same size, and this will get us on our way to making the foliage of the tree. This will be stylized foliage, but I've been doing it a little while with my trees and I really like the way it looks, and I'm hoping you will too. Now we just sort of press them together to get the shape of the foliage that we want. We don't want to press them too hard together. We want to see the definition between the balls, so you kind of get this texture of foliage. I'm just shaping it there. Now put that on top of the tree. And you want to be able to see the branches. You definitely want to be able to see the branches a little bit. Now you can add to that if you want to add more balls to make it longer or wider. Here I am adding some balls. It's starting to look pretty good. You can actually see space and light underneath there, and that's really good. We're looking for that. You can take a tool like this and just carve in um, texture for the tree by just kind of drawing lines in the clay. I just put a little doorknob, a little tiny ball of clay, and I put a doorknob on the door, making everything uniform here, trying to get everything to be uniform. You can take a tool and you can cut in the bottom to just help it along, make it look better. And you can use a ball tool or another tool or your fingers to smooth out the clay a little bit. Next we're going to sculpt a little staircase. Just little balls of clay pressed semi-flat and then laid onto the tree and mound going down the side there. Sculpting stairs is really a lot easier than I think people realize. It's looking pretty good. We're just going back now to smooth things out a little bit. Okay, now we're going to work with Pearl X pigments, and this is the colorant pigments that we use for coloring the clay. It looks really good on black, that's why I sculpt in black clay, and I'm going to do the garden portion, the walls and the base with reflex violet. I get a little bit of it on my brush and then I dab it on the table or a paper towel, and that way it's not, you know, flying all over the place because this is a very fine powder. I thought it would be nice to do purple or reflex violet on the base, just make it a little bit more colorful. Here we are using silver now. I'm going to do the staircase in silver and the doorknob. I'm looking for an antique look. I'm not looking to make it look all bright and new, but you could if you wanted to. You make it as bright as you want. Next I'm using spring green to do the foliage of the tree. You can support it with your finger and keep it from bobbing all around there when you're putting the pigment on. Next I'm going to use antique bronze, and it's a very pretty color. Then I'm going to applying that now to the tree. Now, when baking this, you're going to put it in a preheated 275-degree oven and bake it for 15 minutes per quarter inch of mass. And what that means is the thickest portion is an inch thick, you would bake it for an hour. You can put it on a smooth ceramic plate, would be fine. Now, after it's baking, we're going to put in moss. I'm going to use dried moss here because it's so small. You could put live moss in, but it's going to require a lot of watering. You're going to have to be there watering it constantly, really, because it's going to dry out very quickly. But here, I'm using dried moss. I got it from the florist, and I cut it to the size I need. You can also wet it to put it into place. It will make it a little bit easier. but here I'm just putting it in dry. And that's about it. If you like this kind of content, please subscribe to my channel. I do a lot of videos along these lines. Please like the video, tell me what you think of it, and comment, leave any questions. Thank you so much for watching.